Hi, everyone. We have a special treat for you all today. Bridget from AZ is joining me for a conversation. We've noticed lately that some people have mistakenly thought that Bridget and I are the same person because we have similar voices. So today we thought it would be fun to have a chat so you can hear that we are in fact really two different people. It's so nice to talk with you, Bridget. How are you?
Good. How are you, Janice?
I'm good, thanks. So
I wonder if I'm really talking to myself. Maybe I have a mental problem or something.
You must be. So should I call myself Bridget now?
I don't know, or maybe Christine, or
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
That would be a good April Fool's joke.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that would be a good April Fool's joke. I'll change my channel name to Christine.
Oh, that would be good. Some have. We're saying this because some have accused us of being the same person.
Yeah.
And it's usually trolls don't really like my channel or Janice's channel. So that's why we're doing this, because we just think it's hilarious.
Yeah. Although there are some that are they just think they actually really do think we are the same person, but then they think it's great, And even like I've mentioned before, my husband, one time I was watching one of your videos and he heard me, he walked in the room, he's like, "Oh, when did you make that?"
That is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, there's kind of a generic female voice that we probably have. Hey, did anybody ever think you were Smurf Girl too? Because I've gotten that a few times.
No, I haven't so far.
Oh, okay.
That's funny. Yeah.
So,
I don't really hear it.
I'm friends with her.
Yeah. I don't hear it. Like, I think our voices don't sound exactly the same. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. As a matter of fact, I don't even like listening to my own voice.
Oh, same here.
Do you like listening back to them? It makes me cringe.
No, I can't stand it. I've sort of gotten numb to it, but yeah, I don't care for it. But at the same time, then I can listen to your videos and I'm all like, oh, I can't stand that voice,
Right. I think that's common in a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
Probably not that uncommon to not like hearing your own voice played back, and
exactly.
Of course it's scary sometimes what you're saying. It could be the wrong thing. It could be the wrong Bible verse, and it does really feel like putting yourself out there sometimes. I think I'm much more used to it now.
Yeah.
No, don't really care what anybody else says or anything like that. So, and I always say, well, I'm just an average person. I'm just doing my best, trying to learn and trying to talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how I felt early on when I decided to start sharing my videos. Is like when I was when I recorded them, I did it because it was just for me. It was just for my own reference, so I could go back and say, what did she say about that? But then after when I thought I'd start sharing,
that's a great way to study it. That's a great way to study it,
yeah.
Or else take notes as you're doing it.
Yeah.
And then going back, and especially with your lady, because she's so good.
Yeah.
She's old school Jehovah's Witness who loves these conversations.
Right.
She has something for every point.
Yeah.
And but you don't see that as much anymore at all.
No, exactly. Yeah, and she loves debate, so yeah, that helps a lot. But yeah, when I was starting to share them, I was like, it was really nerve-wracking because I know that I have said some things really wrong at times. I've kind of messed up, and especially like early on, I didn't really know that much about the Watchtower yet. So I was kind of felt like I was in over my head sometimes, and and so I've had to correct myself, and that's why part of why I do the little commentaries too, is that I can say, okay, don't do it that way, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, I like how you do that. That's a really helpful, unique method. I like that you comment on it. Does it take you more time though to actually put that together?
Yeah, it does. Sometimes it's not bad. Other times it's like, okay, yeah, I really have to, I have to kind of unpack this a little bit because there's just a whole lot going on. And I know the background of why she said something she said, or why I said something, or, and I feel like I have to kind of explain it a little bit, or, and also I'm trying to, like, my goal, which I think is kind of like the same goal as yours, is that I want to help Christians to feel more confident in talking to witnesses. And it's okay if you mess up.
Does it take you a long time, though, to the technical aspect where you have to stop the the recording, and then you have to put in what you're saying. See, I'm not as advanced as you on that kind of thing. Is that pretty time consuming?
Not really. The tech side of it isn't too bad. I found a program that works it pretty easily, so I can see all the sound waves, so I can actually see where to stop and start things and dump things in. And so that part actually, I've had to learn. I've gone through a couple of different programs before I got to one that kind of works for me and wasn't too expensive. That part was, the actual like collecting everything and even putting in the little video clips and stuff like that I put in there just for background. That part's really quick. It's the getting the notes together and the commentary. That part is more time consuming.
Yeah. But then you kind of get in a groove probably, and it goes a little faster.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. I would imagine.
Yeah. And if we go around, like there's so many things that have been repeated now with that many conversations that sometimes I just kind of go, okay, well, you've heard that before, so I'm not going to focus on it again.
Yeah. It's still interesting how much more material you have with her that you've taped.
Yeah, she's just, I mean.
You have a lot more left?
I do, yeah.
That you have already, or?
Yeah, there's quite a few.
Are you getting to the end of it, or how's that going?
Yeah, it's, I've probably got, oh goodness, I'd have to guess somewhere around maybe another 15 hours or so recorded, maybe 20, somewhere in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so that's just from previous conversations. We do still talk, but she has kind of shut down conversation to, like, she didn't cut me off completely, but she said she didn't want to do the go round anymore, basically. So I still call her, check in on her, and we have a little bit of talk. She called to tell me about the convention and left a message for me, and that's just in case I want to tune in. So she's still counting her hours, but it's a lot less now. It may change. I think she'll probably come around and want to start doing it again, just because she's desperate to count her hours. And I think she's lonely too, because she's kind of on her own a lot, and she doesn't have the Kingdom Hall anymore. So.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and she knows that I actually genuinely care about her. So I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy to have, the go round, or I'm happy to just talk about personal stuff too. And, of course, none of that goes online, of course. But, I'm more than happy to just have those conversations.
Yeah, genuine friendship.
Yeah. Are you still there? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
So you were going to talk about how you got interested in doing this and your connections with witnesses and stuff like that, and then I can tell my side of that.
Yeah, that sounds great.
What's your story about that?
Okay, yeah. So I actually kind of was inspired to do this because I was listening to your videos, and I already had almost a year of recordings from this lady when she cut me off and didn't want to talk to me anymore. She got all, you probably heard that one a while ago where she was just like, that's it, I don't want to talk to you anymore. And then later I'd called her back because of COVID, and then we started up again. So that was when I started thinking, well, maybe I could, it was very uncomfortable, but maybe I'll start sharing some of these things and see what people think. And I think I had just started doing cart crashes then too. And I thought, why don't I do this too and see how it goes? And it's been amazing. I mean, you actually, I think my first JW video was the Robert Serenko one, where he was saying ridiculous things about the Trinity that were so total straw man arguments, and you shared that on under one of your videos, and I got a bunch of people that watched it and subscribed to my channel, and then it kind of grew from there. And I noticed people love, more than anything, they love to hear the conversations, because it's so great to actually hear a Christian talking to a Jehovah's Witness and hear the Jehovah's Witness actually respond and have the back and forth, right? Because I know, I know you've had lots of hang-ups, and you get some people who are great and respond and have lots of interesting things to say, but she keeps going. So
you got a live one there.
I do.
Sure. She's awesome. I like her.
Yeah, I think
she's
that
awesome.
if she ever came out of the organization, which I don't know, because I think she really is what I hear sometimes called the Watchtower worshiper or whatever. Like she's just, she doesn't even care if it makes sense or not. She just loves them so much. But if she ever came out and we could really be genuine friends, I would love that. I think we would get along really well and be in each other's lives, and we don't even live that far away from each other. So.
She'd be amazing for defending the faith too if she ever came out to Christ.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, and that's what I'm still praying for, and just, because I know she is older, and I don't know how long she has left, and so I keep praying for her, and I'd love to be able to talk with other witnesses again, but they're really, I think they know who I am at that Kingdom Hall now, so they don't really want to have too much to do with me. I did call one of them, who was I think my first car crash was talking with him, actually. And then he sent me a letter, and I called him back, and I was fully ready to have. He's such a nice guy. He's very friendly, very sweet. But when I called him, he was just like, yeah, here's you can call this guy to see the Zoom memorial. That's it. And then he didn't want to talk anymore. So I was like, oh,
right.
That's too bad.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. It's the whole neighborhood is different without the Jehovah's Witnesses being in their usual spots. It's kind of I don't like them to spread, those things, but it's kind of a loss. I mean, it adds color to the community and conversations, and it's kind of different. I do notice it every time I drive by their spots. I just kind of think about it, like, oh, it was such a neat opportunity to talk with them, or just say hi to them, or whatever.
Exactly, yeah, because you can't even, especially here in Canada, there isn't many opportunities around to talk to people about religion at all. Generally, they just don't want to hear anything, right? So when you've got people there who actually want to talk about the Bible, then it's kind of neat.
Right.
Yeah. So how did your channel get started?
Well, as far as my interest in the witnesses, it goes back a really long time, because I'd say from a very young age, even a teenager, I was intensely interested in apologetics and theology. Mm-hmm. And then every time I would always love talking to them when they came to the door, or when I encountered them in other places, and I would just go for it, whatever I knew to ask or bring up, and and back then they were always happy to have go-rounds,
Yeah.
And I'd study more. Whatever I had at the time was just books like Kingdom of the Cult, or other books about the Watchtower that you could get. And, I just did that for years. I kept talking to them whenever I could, would look more stuff up about it, try to study about it. And then that was just years of doing that, and I didn't have that much time. But then as the kids got bigger, I had more time. And then in 2009 was when it really got personal, because my kids were going to a small charter school here, and there was 2 witness guys, and they were wonderful guys. They were good looking, smart, nice, and everything. But yet there was aspects that I could see in their life, things they were going through that I didn't really understand, because I knew more about the doctrine aspect than what the cult-like aspects of what their life was like, and the way some of the practices were. So that point was when I really got online, and I learned about a lot of the more hidden things that you learn from the former members' community. Mm-hmm. And it just touched my heart. I just couldn't believe some of the things about the shunning, about blood, all the different intensive rules. You weren't even supposed to have friends outside, and then hearing all the stories. So I think for me, it gave me more of a heart knowledge rather than just a head knowledge. I probably heard of shunning. I probably heard of their blood view or whatever, but till you really get into it and you read those stories, it kind of grips your heart, and you realize what heroes all those former members are, and the courage they have had to have, and what they've been through in their life. So I just started talking to more of them and made some friends, and Joe Mason Emerson, he kind of took me under his wing and taught me to do different things like protest at the convention and different activism that he liked to do. And I met a guy who preached at the convention, Roy Spears, because he had an immediate family member that was in the Watchtower all their life, but he was an evangelical Christian and kind of a street preacher, and he had such an excellent method of preaching at the convention, and he was kind of a fixture, and they knew he would always be out there during the lunch, and they would sit around pretending not to listen to him.
Oh.
There would be tons of witnesses sitting outside where he was allowed to be, listening to him. He just had the right attitude, the right information, and, he was just so cool. And then when I started trying with phone calls, I would tape them, and I had sent Roy a couple of them, and to just see what he thought about it. And he really got on me to do YouTube.
Oh.
When he first said that, I thought, what are you I would never do that, because I have an introvert kind of side.
Yeah.
I seem very extrovert, like when people talk to me, but kind of made me feel weird thinking about that.
Yeah.
And how many of the even former members are really strident atheists and skeptics, and I was kind of afraid of them. I didn't want to spend all day, dealing with that, and I don't like hearing myself, and I might say something stupid, just, and I was like, no, Roy, I would never do that, and he just kept saying, I think it will open a lot of doors for you. I think this would really be good. And, it's how the Lord uses other Christians in our life,
Yes.
to get us out of our comfort zone. And so I just started trying it, and I was surprised how well it went. And it's been one of the most rewarding things that I just love. I love all the people. I have had a lot of open doors for evangelism and sharing Christ, or just the activism side too, trying to plant the seeds of doubt and stuff. And so that's how I got interested in it. Thanks, Roy.
Yeah, thank you, Roy.
He gave me a big push. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, because I can tell from the comments you get under your videos that you are definitely having an impact on people that are hearing them. Even actual PMOs and JWs that are coming across that are being affected. They're seeing things that.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it is discouraging, the actual conversations usually. But another thing, I'm not even discouraged when they are very rude or hang up or just say go to jw.org or just want to send me cut paste, because I think also the people that are on the edge of it, where they're still kind of not completely out, kind of in, I think that's really confirmatory to them that wow, it's so lame.
Yeah.
So lame, and they're rude, and they don't even want to talk about the Bible, really.
No.
They just want to find honest-hearted ones who believe everything the governing body says.
Yeah.
And so I think that was surprising to me. I hadn't really thought about that, but even the really rude ones, I think it does help some people to move more away from it.
Yeah, exactly, because then they see that that's the only response is to be rude, then that you've lost your argument already if that's all you can do. And so therefore it's like, oh, your brain is off. You're not even really honestly yourself dealing with anything. So yeah, that's and it can be, I mean, I know I've had people kind of accuse me of like I'm exploiting this woman or that kind of thing, but that's the thing is like the goal is never to exploit her. And that's why I hide all of her information. I would never want her to feel, embarrassed by any of that.
Right.
But when she says things that are really, really audacious and ridiculous, that is her doing it. Yeah, she's been coached to do that by the Watchtower. And ultimately it all still flows out from the fact that they have brainwashed her and they are abusing her. So it really is about exposing the Watchtower for what they're doing to people. Yeah,
that's a good point. And it cracks me up kind of when they say, well, why are you calling? What is your motive? When they've been to my door so many times.
Yes.
Which is actually more invasive for someone to come to your door.
Yeah.
In person.
Absolutely.
And it's kind of the strips irony, doesn't it? Sometimes, why are you calling a Kingdom Hall? Like, we do that or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would always talk to them if they came to my door.
Yeah.
So why can't you just have a conversation? It doesn't have to be long, I just wanted to share a scripture with you or whatever. No.
Yeah, and what if, like, when they came to our doors, the first thing we said is, what is your motive? What's your motive? Why are you really here?
Yeah. Are you an apostate?
Yeah.
So insulting.
Yeah.
Anyway. Well, there it is.
Yeah.
Well, now everybody will know we're not the same person.
We are really not the same person.
But some think we're probably, making a weird recording of ourselves going back and forth. So.
That seems like a lot of work.
Seriously. I wouldn't even know how to do it.
No, I wouldn't either. Yeah, that's way beyond my abilities. Thank you, Bridget. It's lovely to talk to you.
Okay. Love you lots.
Love you too.